What's up, you guys? My name is Auquan Gates, and I'm back with another speech presentation. Today's topic is: should all rifles be illegal? The general purpose is to persuade my audience and give you enough credible information convincing you why all rifles should be illegal and should they require stricter regulations for those who are legally exempt from possessing one. In the last 10 years, mass shooting, ruthless killings, and thousands of lives has been lost over semi-automatic rifles. The issue has impacted and permanently changed the way we participate in everyday life, like going to church, festivals, and school. It has impacted schools where parents are left helpless, worried for the safety of their children at the place of education. According to Public Broadcasting Service and the Gun Timeline, it has documented the first use of a firearm in 1364. Then, just 20 years later, they started to appear frequently over Europe. The issue was very important to me because majority of my ethnicity is affected and influenced by firearms. I will explain for you today what the federal laws are on semi-automatic rifles, what are the state laws, and lastly, the staggering numbers and facts on semi-automatic rifles. Federal laws are established for semi-automatic rifles. Federal laws are indirectly protected by the Constitution. Again, according to Public Broadcasting Service, recently after the discovery of the rifle principle, Europeans started to explore, arriving at Jamestown, Virginia. The Second Amendment of the United States Constitution states that a well-regulated militia, those being necessary to the security of a free state and right of the people to keep and bear arms, shall not be infringed, which clearly was written to self-protect and for self-protection. George H.W. Bush banned all imports of semi-automatic rifles in 1989, soon after the House of Representatives passed a bill called the Public Safety and Recreational Firearm Use Act. This policy was implemented to amend the federal criminal code that prohibited the possession of firearms during a crime. Next would be understanding your state laws. Being that majority of states are independent, they all are regulated under one federal government. While all governments are for the people, it's hard to question their tactics. States becoming more aware of the situation, they are taking matters into their own hands. The federal bill that was passed by the House originally began its way to Capitol Hill when it was proposed by representative by the name of Dianne Feinstein after a mass shooting on a schoolyard happened in Stockford, California. Georgia laws prohibit convicted felons along with mentally ill from owning a firearm, furthering its regulations by stating that for those who do possess firearms cannot own those of sawed-off shotguns, assault machine guns, rocket launchers, and other extreme weapons. Assault rifles are the root of a pandemic dominating rural communities. Previously, I've watched a documentary about a man conducting social surveys asking civilians, do they feel safe in their own communities, and how often are local authorities in their communities. Between 1994 and 2004, certain semi-automatic weapons were banned by the federal law, but there are no federal laws regulating the highly lethal weapons. Assault weapons are the most used in the past decades, and the number one used in the last 7 deadly mass shootings. 85% of assault weapon fatalities are caused by assault rifles. To conclude, I hope I've given you enough sufficient information convincing you that not only are rifles dangerous, they are the number one reason innocent lives are being lost. Federal laws, state laws, and knowing the history about rifles will further your knowledge on weapons. I hope this information has influenced your decision to take a stance and make a difference. Thank you guys. My name is Auquan Gates, and this has been Assault Rifles.